and welcome back to my channel. Wow, my voice got so high-pitched. I'm so excited because today it is time for another cooking video. I'm also excited because today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. Now, if you don't know what HelloFresh is, this is your first time hearing about them, I might just make your mind explode. HelloFresh is a meal delivery service where you actually cook the recipes. So all of the ingredients are sent to you in handy labeled meal kits, so you know exactly which ingredients go in what. There's a really easy to follow recipe sheet. Also, the thing that I always say every time that I'm working with them is I think my favorite part is that it's like an at-home cooking class, because HelloFresh always has me cooking in a way that I haven't tried before, using ingredients that I haven't tried before, and it's just a really awesome way to get me out of my comfort zone without having to leave my house. It's just so convenient and amazing. The cool thing is too, you're not set to a specific delivery day, so you can choose a delivery day that works best for you and your busy schedule. So if you're interested in trying out HelloFresh and you want to receive $30 off of your first week of deliveries, go and visit HelloFresh.com and enter the code HelloNikki30. I'll have all of that information down below. But without any more blabbering, let's cook some food. Ooh. All right, so we're starting off with this gorgeous greens Farro Bowl. Now, I don't know if I've ever cooked with farro. It sounds kind of familiar, but I was really excited to try this recipe. So here's everything that comes in your HelloFresh box, all of the ingredients, the recipe card, and I started off by pouring my farro in a pot and then adding in, I believe it was like 3 cups of water. I'm not sure. All of the recipe card information is online, but I added in the water to the pot, and then I added in the veggie stock as well and let the pot get nice and hot. Look at that, I'm a poet, I didn't know it. Then I took my asparagus and I cut it up into little like thirds. And after I did that, I sliced up my zucchini into rounds like so. I love zucchini so much. And then I took my white onion and I cut that up as well. I tend to cut it into rounds before I peel off the outside shell, by the way. And then I took my knife and I diced up my onion into little, I just diced it. I don't know what those are, little cubes. So then I spread out my zucchini onto my pan, and then next to it on its own, I did the asparagus. And once I laid all of that out, I drizzled a little bit of garlic olive oil, and then I added some pepper and some salt to the spread as well. And once I seasoned the veggies, I threw them in the oven. Roasted veggies. I love roasted veggies so much. So then I went to check on my farro, stirred it up, and then I went to my nonstick pan and I added some olive oil, garlic, and onions, and that's like gotta be one of the best smells on the planet, honestly. And once my farro was done cooking, it had absorbed all of the liquid, I added it into the pan with the onions, and then I took my veggies out of the stove once they were done roasting. It didn't take very long. Threw that into the mix, squeezed a lemon, added some Parmesan cheese, and then I stirred it all up. My mouth is literally watering while watching this, not just because it looks good, but spoiler alert, because it was so good. Then I added the walnuts, which I never would have thought to add walnuts to this, and voila, it is complete. This looks and smells incredible. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Dude, farro is like, kind of like, what's it called? A bori rice, that really creamy rice. It's got a really creamy, great consistency, and adding in the Parmesan at the end, so good. All right, so on to our next recipe. Next up, we are making these garden quesadillas, which is also making my mouth water. So good. So here are all of the ingredients that you will need for this recipe. And I started off by cutting up my purple onion. I think purple onions are so pretty on a side note, and I love like all variety of onions. Is that weird? I just love onions. So then I cut up my red bell pepper like so, and then I cut it down into little like long strips. Look at me go, cutting into long strips. And then I cut up my zucchini and I cut those into rounds, and then I cut those rounds in half. Actually, it looks like I cut it long ways first and then into rounds, so they were automatically halved. Anyways, then I put them onto my baking tray and I mixed up all of the veggies, added a little bit of olive oil, some oregano that came with my HelloFresh package, because yes, that's the awesome part, even the seasoning comes included. So yeah, then I tossed them in the oven at 425 and let them roast while I moved on to a basic pico de gallo. So I cut up my tomatoes, put them in a little bowl once I had cubed them up, added in some of the red onion that I did not throw onto the platter with the rest of my veggies. And then I don't know what you call this, like just chopped up, ribboned up, sliced up some cilantro. And then I squeezed some lemon into the mix, added a bunch of salt and pepper, or pepper and salt. And then I stirred everything up. And just so you know, I thought this was like too basic. We were missing stuff. It's really good. So then I made my little chipotle mayonnaise. So I just put some mayonnaise, chipotle powder, mixed it up together, and then I pulled my veggies out of the oven. Now, once I did that, I took my tortilla and I brushed it each side with olive oil, side down, and then I took some of the chipotle mayonnaise and I put it on the inside of the quesadilla. This is kind of hard to explain. I don't know if I'm doing the best job, but then I added the mozzarella and then I added the roasted veggies on top. This actually took me a little bit to understand what they were trying to say in the recipe card. Like I was like, how am I supposed to cook this? So I did my best, but I threw those into the oven, and then I took some of the leftover veggies that I didn't put in the quesadilla and I added them to the arugula, squeezed some lemon juice, did a little olive oil, and then did my typical pepper and salt dance. Salt and pepper, salt and pepper. And then I stirred up my salad. After the veggies and the quesadilla had some time to cook for the cheese to melt, all of that jazz, I pulled it out of the oven, added the tops to the quesadilla, and voila, plated the meal. Oh my goodness, I love Mexican food. I am very excited to try this. I'm gonna get the full, just like straight up HelloFresh experience. I'm gonna scoop on some of this pico. Maybe a little bit of the greens too, and make a little salad on top of it. First off, it's really fresh tasting. The lime, the arugula, the fact that the whole thing was baked, it's so just fresh tasting. That's the best way I can explain it. It seems really obvious, but it wouldn't have really occurred to me to like bake the quesadilla. This is really good. All right, so recipe number 3, harissa, I don't know, sweet potato pockets. So here is everything you'll need for this recipe. Oof, I forgot about this recipe until I was editing it right now. It's really good. So I started off with my sweet potatoes and I sliced them up into little rounds like this, put some olive oil, and then I added harissa powder to the potatoes. I don't even know what harissa powder is, but once I tossed it, I threw it in the oven, and then I took my cucumber and I cut them into rounds that were also halved. And once I did that, I started making my little mayonnaise dip, which consisted of mayonnaise, harissa powder, garlic, salt, and pepper. And I stirred all of those ingredients together to make this little yummy sandwich mayonnaise. And once that was made, I started to make my cucumber mix, which was just the cucumbers, dill, the white wine vinaigrette, a little bit of olive oil, and that's what made that salad. So then I cut my pita pockets in half and threw them in the oven as well. And once those were in there, I halved my avocado and cut it down long ways so that it could be strips. Now, once my pita pockets were done heating in the oven, I pulled them out, opened them up, put some mayonnaise on the inside. By this point, my sweet potatoes were done, so I threw the sweet potatoes on the inside, and then I also stuffed it with some of the cucumber salad and then some of my avocado slices as well. And then at that point, it took a little bit of skill, but I drizzled some pine nuts on top, which, oh my gosh, I also love pine nuts. Okay, I'm really excited to try this one because I don't even have a guess as to what this is gonna taste like. Like a lot of times, you know, when you recognize flavors that you're cooking with, like you can kind of imagine, or at least I can, what it's gonna be. No idea. Here we go. Okay. It's good. I think my favorite part about it is the cucumber salad. But see, I'm just preferential to like veganese rather than actual mayonnaise. So that taste is throwing me off a little bit, but it's still really good. All right, guys, so that brings us to the end of this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and you learned something new. And in case you missed it, I uploaded quite a few videos in the last week. I uploaded another food video that was just so magical. I uploaded a couple of just chatty videos. So yeah, just letting you know, giving you an FYI, and I'll see you back here soon. All right, bye guys.